What's going on, guys? So, well, it happened. You know, I told you I got a box in, and yeah. So we're looking at the last current thing I've got from the Eaglemoss, and it is another one of the XL ships, of course, and it is the Runabout from DS9. Now, very specifically, this is the Orinoco. There were like three main runabouts, and they were all slightly different. I think the Orinoco had this arrangement going on up top. So let's look at the box real quick, like we do. I don't know, it feels like my lights aren't pointed in the right spot. I don't know what's going on. So, stuff there, Star Trek there, spin around, all the different shows there, more Star Trek there. Now here's the thing, I haven't even opened this yet. So this is actually the unboxing, technically speaking. Let go, okay. Now, classic with the styrofoam insert instead of the other. Go ahead and pull that out carefully. And there's no plastic cover, oddly enough. So let's see here. So we got the stand, the plastic bit for the stand there. Got some styrofoam on it. Got the base. Go ahead and unwrap that. And this is another like offset base, which is kind of cool, but we shall see. See, one thing I like about when they do ships like this, so it's technically a smaller ship. And, you know, we sort of discussed this as we were going along, that the smaller the ship, the more detail they end up putting on it because they make it bigger. The bigger the ship, the smaller they make it. That's kind of weird. So there's our stand assembled. And we'll go ahead and lift out our friend here. And then there's our box. I'm going to set that aside. And actually, I will go ahead and put this guy on the stand temporarily, like so, and set it aside so we can look at the book. That way it's a teaser. So, this is an older one, so it comes with the older, big-ass book. Okay, so, official Starship collection. You got the Runabout special issue, Danube class, so there are potentially other types of runabouts. Launch 2368, crew 2. I mean, it only takes 2 people to run it, but you can fit more people in it. Max warp speed 4.7, nothing crazy. Book got a little bit bent up because back then they just included the book in the bag with it, and it just gets squished in whatever direction. So there's how you put the thing on the thing. You got Danube, first seen in Emissary, yep. Last seen in What You Leave Behind, yep. Rick Sternbach, Joe Hodges, and Jim Martin helped design it. Got some nice shots there from DS9. So instead of just having shuttlecraft, we got runabouts in DS9, which is actually pretty cool. So really, it is just a small, short-range ship that is significantly more potent than a shuttle. You know, that's actually pretty cool. Original design there. Gotta like that. Got the living quarters. Detachable flight pod. That's interesting. Okay. So got the door up front, I guess. That's something I never noticed. Oh, because it would be sealed from the outside, too. Got Starfleet nacelles. Okay. Detachable cargo pod. Interesting. There's some extra designs. Though that... Hold on. Interesting. So... I guess it kind of borrowed from that idea. But you can see how it sort of evolves from this. Well, this thing sort of just looks like a phaser, doesn't it? You know, gets a little bit more going on over here. I guess that's supposed to be like Runabout 1. They kind of cut the pages off there. That's funny. Sternbach did that. You see here how they have a little bit more. Got the AWACS pod. That's pretty cool. I just like seeing the evolution of the ships as they go. There we go. Closer to official. I like this here, though, where the cargo pod can go underneath. That's actually pretty cool. Very similar to how we have some cargo planes or cargo helicopters and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. That really looks like a phaser. That's funny. More and more. That looks like a Space Winnebago up there. This is actually pretty close to design here. I like that. And there we go. Pretty much got there to get to the final detail. Interesting rear pod there. It's where the living quarter, quote unquote, had a bunch of windows that you could look out. It's just funny. So yeah, you would have the cargo module. So it could actually do that realistically. We just never saw it on screen. Sensor pod. That's pretty cool. Okay, so they added that just to make sure we knew there were two different runabouts. So there we go. That's pretty cool. So let's bring it back out. And I did actually, I'm pretty sure I had the Micro Machine version of this. Most of the ships we've looked at so far, I had the Micro Machine version of, and it was just cool. Actually, you know what? I can brighten this up just a little. Come on. There we go. So, there we go. There's the Orinoco as it is. And it looks good. Once again, I'm talking about, like, this size makes a lot of sense for ships like this. Clearly, we don't care about scale when we're doing things like this. We're just worried about it looking cool and being able to show off the detail of it. And I think this is a very, very good example of what they do at this particular size, being that it is a smaller ship. Now, I think they haven't even done, like, the Type 4, Type 5 shuttles in this scale. You can buy, like, the small shuttles, and in fact, you can get those in, like, 4-packs, like, different types of shuttles. So, it's pretty interesting. Now, as far as I know, they don't have the other runabout. Not Roanoke, but it's something like that. It's pretty cool. A little bit of paint mishap going on over here. Actually, let's take it off the stand. Let's have a look-see. And, okay, I was going to say, I bet the stand just scratched it, but actually that's styrofoam. Kind of hefty. The only die cast I can feel will be the cargo pod down here. The rest of it is definitely plastic. But what's cool about this, unlike many of the other ships we look at, I bet... Okay, this is all die cast too. The pods here, the wings, as it were. I bet you could actually get some electronics in this. I like how you can still sort of see that you could separate this into a command module, command pod. That's pretty cool. It never occurred to me that's the door. So that obviously will slide open and the proper doors inside there. Let's see here. Come underneath. We got some scrapage here. So nothing I can do about that. I like the grills here. You can actually feel it. Starfleet emblem under there. And frankly, we never see the runabouts get used anywhere else but DS9. And the funny thing is like the station had to be modified to, have the docks for these. So it's actually pretty interesting. And the runabout areas where they launched from was actually in the habitat ring, which is even kind of funnier if I remember that correctly. So you got all the windows back here, which I don't think I ever considered those to technically be windows. They didn't show that area that often. The black paint or tampo thing is off by just a little bit, but it's okay. Nice yellow paint under there for good detail. You see how it assembles so they can paint other things. So this is supposed to be a sensor pod. That's pretty cool, though it does look like it has a Gatling gun in there. Probably did, technically, because they scratch build these things kind of and then kit bash them as well. Nowadays, you would just design it in CAD and 3D print the damn thing, so it's pretty interesting. Now, one other cool thing is that when they were designing the Defiant, they wanted to kind of initially start with the idea that it was a modified and bigger version of one of these boys. So if you look at some of the earlier concepts of the Defiant, you have like the center section that really looks like just a normal runabout, and then like the area with the nacelles and stuff is significantly larger. Let me turn that down a little bit more that way. There we go. Need to kind of finagle the lights a little bit more because I don't like it when my hands get in the way. You gotta stay facing the way I want you to. There we go. Alright. So, either way, I'm a big fan. I think these are really cool. I like the kind of impulse engines inside there. The gold kind of goldish translucent they use for that. It's pretty cool. And you come around here, you got the red sticking out the back, like we're used to for impulse engines. I think these are phaser arrays here, because these things definitely had weapons, because they did have to use them to defend the station from time to time before the Defiant came along, So, speaking of, let's go ahead and get this guy back on the stand. And bring out the only other ship that matters to it. And bring out the Defiant. Now, once again, I think buying like the small version of this may even kind of scale to the Defiant itself, which I still need to clean up a little bit. So Defiant, still my favorite thing, period. Runabouts, I think, are really cool for something that's bigger than a normal shuttle, a little bit more capable, and, you know, just a neat looking utility type of vehicle. Like, made for away missions. If you gotta fly down to somewhere, you know, nice landing pod, and you can stay there for a little while, it's a bit better. You can haul more crap, things like that. Do like away missions, do some other things. And it just looks neat, like just in that design. For something that's so small, it actually kind of has an intimidation factor. But then, of course, I just love the Defiant. So you could imagine, even you see it here, like in the nose area of the Defiant, how it very much kind of follows the same shape, if not inverted. But yeah, some of the original images of the concept for the Defiant are pretty cool, and because they're just straight up runabout advanced. So, like, I mean, what would you do if you were developing a Starship at DS9? You would use one of these as the basis. So, but yeah, there's not gonna be a whole lot going on with this one. Pretty simple. I really do like it. This is something, like, if I had had a runabout this size as a kid, I definitely would have played with it. I'm not saying that I won't play with it now, I just won't admit to it. And I'm talking about the shut up. Stop thinking that, you dirty people. So, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. And yeah, I did put an order through Eaglemoss today for a couple more Enterprises. So that's the thing. But I'll see you guys next time. Remember, as always, to keep on nerding.